Okay, welcome back everybody, and it's the day after Christmas. Good morning. Hope y'all had a great Christmas. And just before Christmas, I received the package with the dial for the little treasure chest. Before I do this, I want to show you something. Look at the box that this was packed in. It was wrapped in that. It was encased in that and then packed with bubble wrap all the way around the thing. And we're talking about this size of a glass plate. So don't tell me that Radio Days doesn't package that. I didn't know what the package was when it came in. So okay, we're going to put it in today. Let me put this out of the way. I got a little bit more work to do. I want to show you some stuff. I just cleaned it up a little bit. We've talked about the finish of this cabinet. It's supposed to be a rustic treasure chest look. I've gotten some rope. Now this is not the hemp or the brown rope, but it is nautical rope, and I'm going to make the handles for the sides with this by just want to pretty much tie a knot in the front, put it through, tie a knot, dip this in some sort of maybe epoxy to keep the knot from coming out, and then once I tie the other knot, I'm just going to dab some epoxy on the ends so it doesn't come loose. Now I've thought about heat or whatever, but I decided just go with a little bit of epoxy. It won't take but a few minutes to heat to mix up. That should hold that. Looking at the dial, it was glued in, and maybe I can get some light down in there, hopefully. There we go. And it was glued in, and so I've taken a little bit of sandpaper and I've taken the old glue out, and I've cleaned it with a little bit of alcohol, letting that dry out. Now what I plan on using, now here's the thing, I'm gluing glass that does not expand that much or contract that much to wood that does with moisture and heat and cold. So a friend of mine that's into radios just over the road from me a little bit, Josh, he brought me some double-sided tape that wood turners use. And I mean, it looks like blue duct tape, right? Okay, but it's actually, when you peel it, it's very thin double-sided tape. So I'm going to trim off some pieces to go around so that when I stick it on there, it's stuck on. And then I'm thinking, not up here because the dial light's up here, but right down here and on the back here, put just a dot or two of hot glue. This way the tape and the hot glue will expand with the wood. Now when I went looking for hardware to go back with, I noticed, and what came out of this was like sheet metal screws. Well, people lose the screws, and so they don't replace them with the exact things. So they boogered up, and boogered, you can look that up, that is a word, boogered up the threads, and this is a number 8, 832 I believe. And so what I did is I took my tap, and I tapped those back out. Fortunately, now here's the good thing, fortunately, the people that put the wood screws in made a hole for this tap to go deeper. So that wasn't always a bad thing. So I've got these tapped out to put, I think I'm going to use brass screws to put in there. Now when I went and I dry fitted, and that's something I've always said, you need to dry fit. When I went to dry fit, this side of the radio was up, and I got to looking. I don't know if you can see it or not, but this particular brace, let me get some light back. Maybe you can see. There you go. Now you can see it there. See the gap here? versus the gap over here. There are none. So this is going to be raised up. Now I've already pushed on this, and I believe there's like a small nail holding this, and this is just raised up. Probably when they dropped it in the United Postal Service, the chassis pulled up on it and pulled that out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this really good, put a little bit of glue in there, and then I'm going to press that back down and use the glue, and the nail should go back in place. So we're going to do that, and then I'm going to gather all the hardware, and then we're going to put this all back together. Okay, I've got the double-sided tape on the inside. I've unwrapped the dial glass. Let you look at that. Turned out very nice. Now, this is the right way for it to go in. So let's see if we can just put it in there. It sets in the slot and then just pushes in thusly. And like I say, we will look at it. I don't like that particular. I'm going to pull that back out. I see some of the tape. I didn't notice that in the beginning. Okay, take two. I pulled that out and moved that tape. Probably my hand's in the way, and I apologize for that. But all right, let's see how that looks in the front. Oh, that looks pretty good. Let's see. And I can tell you it was very difficult to get it back out. Very difficult to get it back out. So I'm debating whether to put the hot glue in the corners maybe. I'll think about that, but we've got to go ahead and get our ropes put in. So let's do that while we're thinking about whether to put the hot glue or not. Okay, let me tell you what I did. When I stuck that in, I went ahead, instead of hot glue, I just took some wood glue and put a small amount and let it just sink into the corners of the wood and the glass, just in the corners. It's already got the tape to hold it. I believe that'll be fine. Here's the ropes, the decorative ropes. They're not really meant to carry the thing with, but per se the treasure chest. So I also took and put hardware to secure this back in there. And let's turn around here and let's see if what it's going to do. And when I was working with it, guess what I did with the thumb? Pushed on the speaker accidentally and cracked it. So I ended up getting a little coffee filter and patching it. Okay, there we are at 570, low end of the band. Going up. There's 800. That's right on the money. I've got not an outside antenna. I've got a piece of wire strung up in the ceiling here, and
probably the right? You have to be pretty good to get invited. So my point is this. Kaiser, after that conversation that I...
It's been a fun little project. I appreciate y'all riding along with me on this one. So that's going to conclude this. I've got a little table I'm going to put in my foyer, put that on there. And I appreciate Michael from That Tube Sound for giving that to me and giving me the opportunity to work on it. So, from Larry, from the hills of Tennessee, thanks for watching.